Good evening, I am Gribbly. Welcome to Gribbly's Folly, and I'm wearing my fishing hat indoors because it's like 16 degrees outside and I can't go fishing. So I'm taking a break here from tying perfect elk hair caddisflies to tell you about my Tenkara setup. Man, this hat really shades my eyes. How about that? How about that? Can you take me seriously now? Made a video back in August about my dirt cheap Tenkara setup and sort of the path that I had taken to get there. I've been on YouTube 3 years. I got hundreds of videos, but you put the words dirt cheap in front of the title and everybody wants to watch it, right? So that is now my highest viewed video. Thank you so much. And I just sort of discussed, I was a newbie fly fisherman, newbie fisherman, and it was kind of my first real season fishing, and so I started with a spinning pole. Then in April of last year, I got my first fly rod with a reel, and I just didn't feel quite settled on it, and so I tried out the Tenkara thing. But the problem was I'd spent so much money at that point, I couldn't really justify going out and buying a Tenkara USA rod or any of the other $200-300 plus Tenkara rods on the market. So I found some cheap rods on Amazon, and so that video was basically a very positive review of the cheap rod experience. I've been getting a whole lot of questions about those rods, about my line, about all the stuff I use, so I thought I would just tell you how it works. I am no expert, but it looks to me like the manufacturers of these cheap-ass Tenkara rods they're using us, the American Tenkara public, for market research. They have, at that time, they had flooded the market, the Amazon market, with different options, different links, different numbers of sections, different colors, and it really had the feel to me of, they're trying to figure out what will sell, which is great because I got to try a lot of different rods, and I did before I settled on one. It's not so great because they no longer make that one anymore, so it's going to be a little difficult for me to recommend stuff because I don't know what's out there now, and everything has changed in the last 6 months. This was the one that I featured in that video, and this one has lasted the longest. All of these rods are stupidly fragile, which is fine because they cost $10 or $11. They are expendable pieces of equipment, but this one has really held strong, and it's the reason that I don't use this one as my primary rod anymore is because it's heavy compared to the one I'm getting ready to show you. But this is basically a brown fiberglass telescoping rod that you can call a Tenkara rod. It's not branded Tenkara. It doesn't say anything about Tenkara on it, or it didn't at the time that I bought it. But the brand is Uxcell, Uxcell. That is Uniform X-Ray Charlie Echo Lima Lima, for those of you who are asking. And this rod, I believe, I can't remember the original specs on this rod, and I can't go back and find it. 10 feet, but I think when I bought it, it was a 14 feet, and I took a couple of 14-foot rod, and I took a couple of sections out of the base. I know I took at least one section out of the base, and that's why the base is made of Gorilla Tape there. Doesn't bother me at all, because this rod works really well. I also put some paracord wraps on it just to help with comfort because it's like a bare, slippery ass fiberglass thing, and when you're fishing, it'll slip in your hands and you have to grip it a little more tightly than is comfortable for a long day. I put a hairband on it to hold the line in place. Right now it's just got the Lillian on there, and I actually put the swivel on the Lillian, but I don't like that so much because it makes it makes a noise when it. My whole family has pink eye. It makes a noise against the pole. Great rod. I keep this one down in the trunk of my car in case I'm ever in a situation where I want to be fishing but don't have a rod on me. The line that I have used with all of these rods that I'm going to show you is the Max Catch. I currently have it wrapped around my cheap ass fly box. If you're looking for a cheap ass fly box on Amazon, the one with the yellow gasket. Well, I can't really. Well, here, I'll just take the line off. The one with the yellow gasket is cheap, and it's a good fly box. It's advertised as a waterproof fly box. It is not waterproof at all, but that's what it looks like, yellow gasket. And I mean, I think it was $6. I went to the fly fishing store and I was like, "Hey guys, explain to me why I should pay like 35 or $40 with you to buy a fly box, and I shouldn't just buy the $6 one on Amazon." And they were like, "Ours are better," and I'm like, "How much better?" So anyway, that's the fly box I use. Honestly, I like it a lot, but it's too big. It's too big. I never use that many flies in one day because I'm a Tenkara fisherman and I'm all about simplicity. But I mean, you know, I guess this was before I was like tying massive amounts of flies over the winter, and I would just like every fly I had would be in this box. So it worked well for that. I would like something a little smaller though. So the line is the Max Catch Tenkara. I think I got this one for like 11 or $12. It works just fine. It's a furled leader. I'll hold it up here where you can actually see the light. But I mean, it's, you know, what a line looks like. Now I think you can get a 2-pack for $17 or something like that. I haven't checked in a while. I need to check. So back to the rods. When you look at these things online or on Amazon, maybe there's other websites out there. I don't know. Maybe you can still find my favorite one, which is this one, the 300 centimeter rod. I can't remember how many sections. I'll count them. I don't like to open the rods indoors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sections. 10 sections, 3 meters. And this rod, at the time that I bought it, was marketed as a carbon fiber rod. And in fact, on there, it even says, I don't know if you can see, but it even says 75% carbon glass. There's not a bit of carbon fiber in this rod. It's all fiberglass. I don't know. There's also a picture of a chainsaw being caught by a fishing pole. I don't know what like I said, I really got the sense that there were some people in East Asia doing market research on us. So there's some Asian script on there, and 300, which is how many centimeters the pole is long, and that's it. And I love this pole. I think that it's great. It's super lightweight. It doesn't have quite the reach that I would like. Ideally it would be a couple of feet longer, but like I said, anytime I went up a couple of feet, the pole got too heavy. So this is the one I broke the other day, and this one will be my third one. The first one I broke from stepping on it. The second one I broke immediately upon casting it. Like literally the first cast just snapped right in half. And I fixed it with a piece of Scotch tape. And it worked fine until the other day. And in fairness, it got snagged on the ice, and I was really trying to wrench it out of there. But it snapped in half. And so I don't know that I can vouch for the durability of these. It doesn't much matter because it doesn't look like they're available on Amazon anymore. So who knows? Who knows if you can find the 300 centimeter 10 section blue carbon fiber Uxel poles. Heartily recommended. I've had more fun with this piece of gear than anything else in my entire gear warehouse. I don't have a lot of gear. I don't know what I'm talking about. So the next one, I think this one. Ooh, I've got the base around here. Hang on. The base says this one was a 360 centimeters, 7 sections. The brand on this one, the brand on the pole is Robinson. High quality fiberglass. It's all shiny. See that? The brand on the pole is Robinson. The brand on Amazon was Uxel. And this one was too heavy, so I've taken the base out of it. Unfortunately, it's still too long for my taste when you fold it up. That is not as handy as I would like. Now, as you can see, I mean, I have a tape measure right here. We'll get you guys some actual measurements. So my favorite one, the 300 centimeter 10 section, folds up to about 14 and a half inches. The 380 or 360 with the base off still comes in at 23 1/4. So that's not great, but it feels with the base off, it feels almost exactly the same. So that's pretty cool. I'm so happy with these poles, and I'm disappointed now looking at Amazon that they seem like they're going to get hard to find. And also, you know, the furled leaders are getting hard to find too. But that's my setup. I use a basic dry bag. Once again, I got it on Amazon. I think it was under $20. It's a leader. Leader, Leader is the brand. It is a 5 liter in terms of volume, 5 liter bag. Well, here, I'll show it to you. I did not plan to do a bag dump for this video. I was just going to talk about the rods, but I guess we're just going to see whatever's in here. So, here's the leader bag. It's bright yellow. I'd rather it be camo, but on the other hand, if I have to put it down somewhere, it's easy to find. The net is from David 35445, and it's a great net. It's really awesome. So there's a big part of your gear that I didn't have to pay for because this was a gift. That's another reason that this is all dirt cheap. I use a basic magnetic coupling thing there to keep the net attached to a knot in the strap for the dry bag. The dry bag came with a strap. I do use a Loon Outdoors micro forceps, but honestly, I don't have that much use for them now that I've gone Tenkara all the way. In the bag, let's see what we've got. Very important. We'll get to that in a minute. We've got a lighter for when I smoke my pipe. We've got 2 different bottles of floatants because I lost one and then found it again later. Of course, the rule always holds. If you buy a replacement, you'll find the thing you're replacing, even if you lost it in the woods by the river. And then a bunch of tippet. That's it. That's all I fish with. Oh, well, yeah, this is important. This is my little survival box. Waterproof box. I have my fishing license, an extra battery for my phone, a space blanket, a headlamp. Oh, and here's this other. I've got some extra leaders for my fly rod, an extra furled leader for the Tenkara rod, another lighter that's still sealed in the package, a CRKT M16 EDC. This is an old knife. I don't know if they still make these. It's a good knife if you have to dispatch a fish or clean a fish. Very sharp and pointy. Also weighs next to nothing because of the aluminum scales. And then 2 extra batteries for the headlamp and a rubber band. Don't know why that's in there. That's my setup, y'all. Thank you for your interest. Thanks for asking me questions about what I take fishing. I'm certainly no fishing expert, but I do have a lot of fun with it. And I have fun making fishing videos, and you guys are a big part of that. Thank you for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.